joining NATO.
Okay, so now I have another question, but I guess we wanted to call it, so I don't want to start a philosophical discussion or too philosophical, but it's okay, maybe a little bit. Do you think that as the ruler of a country, you have any obligation to anybody else or any group of people other than your constituents?
No.
Like, do you have any ethical obligations to anybody else other than your constituents? So if the murdering of tens of millions of people will result in a better outcome for your people, is it justified?
Depends on what your constituents want.
Okay, but if your constituents want you to invade this country, and it's clear that the outcome of this invasion will be of benefit to your constituents and to the power and to the amount of resources.
Is
that
this
your
ethically
country
right?
has. Yeah. Do you think that as a ruler, are you ethically obliged to do anything other than create the best outcome for your citizens?
I don't think you're ethically obliged, but you might be, due to the responsibilities of your position, obliged, but that's a different topic. Ethically and obliged by the requirements of your position.
I don't think it's different.
I think there is. For example, if I'm told by my job to fire someone...
It's fundamentally, the question is, James, what should you do? What should a man do, a woman do in that situation?
So I'm Putin, I'm the president of Russia. My country wants me to invade Ukraine. All the people want me to invade Ukraine. But I don't think it's ethically right as an individual. I can step down and let someone else make the decision for me. That simple.
Sure, but but I mean, like,
but isn't that the same
it's
result?
The same thing. It's the
because
same
people
result.
would vote in
You
assuming
have
you're
two
in a
decisions.
democracy.
You have decision A, which leads to the invasion, and decision B, which does not lead to the invasion. Which one do you take?
You lead the one where you don't have to decide to go on the invasion. You say, I cannot...
But by not deciding, you're deciding.
How are you deciding? Maybe
Because
the next person that goes in the position doesn't want to invade.
Okay, I guess so. What's your perspective on that?
But you'd assume that if it's a democratic country, that the people would vote for someone that will invade.
But at least you're not the one making that decision.
Sure, but you've led to the same outcome.
But I think there's a difference between, like, I think the way we get to
Like, I
certain
agree
outcomes
that
matters.
maybe you can sleep at night and now you feel good about yourself, but you've led to the same outcome.
But at the end of the day, we're talking about, like, historical determinism. At the end of the day, certain things might just happen. All you can care about and all you can control are your actions and whether or not you led to that thing happening.
But your action in this case was stepping down, which led to the invasion.
Yes.
But either
you could
way...
have stopped if you believe it's ethically incorrect.
No, because you could say
invade.
then I would just be overthrown and the next person would do it.
Okay, yeah, in that case it's inevitable. But let's say it's not inevitable. Let's say right now you have the ability to not invade, to reject this proposition.
Yeah.
So do you do it or do you not?
You have to see. Was I elected based on my ethical... inclinations.
Saying, right now your job is to rule this. You've been elected.
No, but my platform is that I do stuff based on my ethical inclinations. That was my platform. So if you're voting me in, I'm going to do what I think is right.
Okay, so you think but that's my point. So is it right or is it not right to, end the lives of millions of people if it benefits your citizens?
I don't think it's right.
You don't think it's right?
No.
Okay, what do you think?
I don't think there's a right.
There's no right answer. Yeah,
there's so much context.
This is such a giant trivialization.
There's so much context
very big problem,
involved. Why are you ending? What did they do? Or was it just due to what leader's saying something?
But I guess the fundamental point is whether or not you have any obligation at all to anybody, any entity other than your country and your state. Is the lives of 1 trillion people from Zimbabwe even 1% as valuable as one life of one of your citizens? Do you get what I'm saying?
The way you have to behave as a state?
You're saying yes.
No, I'm not saying.
Oh, you're.
yes.
That's the thing. As an organization, as a state, you need to behave like the lives of your citizens.
Okay. I'll simplify it right now. I'll simplify it. This is a very simple moral dilemma question.
Okay, yalla.
So you are the president of Egypt.
Okay.
Yalla, Egypt.
Sisi has appointed you after you've decided to step down.
Why are you putting me in trouble now?
Why? So you are the president of Egypt.
I have no aspirations to ever enter politics in Egypt. Please don't do anything to me.
Yes. I'm sure Sisi is very threatened by this hypothetical scenario. So if you were the president of Egypt,
okay,
and you had the option to kill 100 of your citizens or 70 million Chinese citizens, this is the trade-off. Is there even a second where you're doubting that? Is there really a value?
Okay, so there's two sides to that question.
And
that
the tertiary, secondary.
No, yeah, of course. Yeah. But there's two sides to that question. It's what does the job require me to do? Like, what's the job description? Because the job itself would require you to know.
This is all about your interpretation of what
sure,
the job
sure.
description
No,
is.
no,
That's what I'm asking.
I'll tell you. So, no, my interpretation of the job is no. The 100 Egyptians are more valuable to me as an Egyptian president than an infinite amount of any other citizen.
But that's not ethics.
That's my
But at
that's
the
not
same
ethics.
time,
It is. It's
No, it
yes,
isn't.
because
It's not
but at the-
ethics.
It's what
at
you
the-
were told. What you
It's
were
not
hired
ethics.
to do.
but
Yes,
at the
that's-
same time, personally, I would have a problem with that. I would not be able to
Exactly.
make that call.
There's a difference between ethics and what a job requires you
Yes.
to do.
No, but are you ethically obligated to do what you were hired to do?
Huh?
You have everyone.
Okay,
has
that's a
an
different
ethical-
question completely.
No, but that is the question.
No,
Is it
no, no.
What is your okay? Then I guess you could fund them. Okay, so we can all agree that the job description entails that you value the lives of one
Yes.
Egyptian
Yes,
over
that's-
70
yes.
quadrillion
Yes, of
million,
course.
Yes.
Chinese people.
Yes.
Okay, so but if you are elected, okay, then now the more practical question: if you are elected as a leader, is your ethical obligation to what you were elected to do and the job description of what you were elected to do?
No.
Or is your ethical obligation to just the greater good of humanity? What is more important as the appointed leader of a country?
It
Your
is to
people.
do what you are required to do, and if you aren't able to do it, step down.
No, right now that's what I'm saying. So like, if you are in that position, James, where do your ethical obligations lie? Like, where, what are you doing if you have that decision to make?
All right? Do I have to make a decision?
You have to make a decision. You have to make a
What do
decision.
why do you mean? I can just not make a decision and decide I'm not going to be the one to make this decision.
Okay, if you're not the one to make the decision, you know the second in charge is going to make it, and he's going to kill the 70 quadrillion Chinese.
Then let
people.
him make that decision. I'm not going to.
Okay, so you would step down and let the second in charge kill 70
Yes,
trillion
but it's not gonna be on my
Chinese
hands.
billion,
Sure.
Chinese
Yes.
billions.
The job requirement.
Chinese people.
Okay, because we've already agreed. The job requirements mean that I have to do this.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, and I cannot personally, I ethically think it's wrong to do this.
Okay, so you are of the opinion that just because you were elected democratically to be the president of a country, you, James, are not the role. You can separate yourself from
Yes.
the role
Exactly.
when your ethical inclinations or obligations that you feel are what
Diverge from the role.
diverge from the rule.
Yes.
Yes.
So you would step down, and that's what you would have to do.
Yes.
Which is what I was saying when I was saying that there's two sides to that
So,
question.
and that is why I think that, I think all of us are in that exact same boat. I would agree. I would not be able to make a decision. I think that's why none of us are fit to be president of any country. Because I
Yes.
think that literally that is what separates the job of being a president that manages the allocation of resources during war, right?
Yep.
That's what separates that job from any other job. Is
Yes.
that the only way to be a successful president or to be a fit president, you have to be the job.
Yes.
Your ethical obligations cannot diverge from the obligations of the role at any point
Yep.
in time.
Yeah.
And that's the nasty thing about being in politics.
That's why I would never run for an elected role.
Yeah.
Like I maybe could work in government if somehow they feel like they need me as some consultant, some I don't know, a
Specialist.
specialist, whatever, expert. If I ever at some point in my life have enough knowledge that they would consider me an expert in any field. But I can never run for an elected role. I just don't see a benefit to me in a role like that. And I guess that is me maybe being very selfish in a way, but I guess I am.
And that's what I'm. That's again. That's when I come. That's when I have these discussions with people about like how evil the people in power are. Whether people in power due to their massive amounts of wealth or people in power due to their political positions. It's like at the end of the day, being in those positions necessitates that you make really difficult, ethically controversial decisions.
You
need
get
to understand-
desensitized.
Yeah, and you have no. It's not like you could do it another way. You'd literally have to step down. Every decision, especially practically speaking, in the context of war, is exactly like the decision that I just forced you to make right now.
Yeah.
Almost every decision in war is exactly like that.
Yeah.
And you have to make those decisions if you're the one controlling an army. So it's that's why I think it's a little bit unfair when people just say that all these people in power are, inherently evil because they make these decisions on a daily basis, because we need people in power to make those decisions. The world cannot operate without those decisions being made. And just because it can't be you to make those decisions doesn't mean that the person that is truly evil. He's just doing, I guess, what he needs to do.
Well, you
sometimes.
might still think that he's truly evil, but you have to understand that he's only made one thing he's made one decision that you could disagree with. You can't look at it as all these individual. He has made one conscious differentiation from your opinion that he's stuck with, which is, I am now the job and I will do whatever benefits the job. That is what he's done. Don't look at him at, okay, in this scenario you did something that was right, but in this scenario you did what was wrong. So here you're ethical, here you weren't. At the end of the day, he has made the decision that no matter what it takes to apply what is best for his country, he will do so.
Exactly.
And that is it.
And that's it. And that's why I'm saying, like, as long as you look at the president and you see, and that's the scary, scary thing. It's like, as long as you look at a political leader and see that it's pretty clear that all of his actions have been to preserve or have been in the benefit of the country that he leads, it's difficult to ethically indict him.
Yeah.
You see, you know what I mean? Like,
it's a different set of ethics and morals, but it is a set of ethics and morals.
It's a really complicated one, you know. So okay, I think that's
I think it's a good place to call it.
I think it's a good place to call it. You know, we had to get a little bit philosophical at the end, you know. Wouldn't be a true Ash It Out episode without that, right? So anyway, thanks a lot, James, and thanks a lot, Mustafa.
Thank you for having us, Ash.
Thanks, guests. Thanks, audience, viewers, fans, hopefully, for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you had a great time, and see you next time.